Decision I made, the nominee in 2020, was selecting her as my vice president. And by the way, it was the single best decision I made as president of the United States of America.
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in Pittsburgh yesterday, as you see, in their first joint campaign appearance since Harris accepted the Democratic presidential nomination.
The pair appearing on Labor Day, making their pitch for support to a crowd of reportedly more than 600 union members. Our political panel's here to weigh in. Tudor Dixon is the host of the Tudor Dixon podcast, and Brent Buchanan is the founder and CEO of Signal. Welcome to you both. So, Tudor, as we saw, Pennsylvania, another key state. We'll be watching it all. The fact that we finally saw President Biden back from vacation and his vice president, who is running her own election race. What stood out to you, and maybe the reception from this duo in Pennsylvania?
Well, I think he still appears to be confused. He still struggles to speak. So I don't know that that is helping her so much. But I think the body language stood out to me the most. The fact that he has his arm around her, he's kissing her head. Remember when he congratulated her on the nomination over the phone that first time, he called her kiddo. This is not instilling confidence that he believes she's capable of doing this on her own. And this is certainly not how I would want to be treated by my boss ever, whether it's in the office or in front of the public. It doesn't give people the confidence that she's ready to lead when you have her boss snuggling her and kissing her on the head like a baby.
Interesting point. Brent, I wanted to bring this up to you in control room, if we can go back to Politico, that headline, because this is probably one of the tougher balancing acts here. They say, quote, for Harris, deploying Biden is both an opportunity and a risk. And the article goes on to talk about balancing how voters see this administration handling inflation, handling the economy. Do they want a Biden 2.0? This is something they've got to stay away from, but you also want those pro-union ties from the Biden name. Brent, how do they go about doing that for the Harris campaign?
Well, everything in politics is about contrast because it's a choice. And you've got to anchor your candidate against something to where you look better, or you're trying to attract yourself towards that anchor. And so listening to him speak last night or yesterday in Pennsylvania, I mean, it was embarrassing. And that makes Kamala Harris look better. The media is going to continue to whitewash the fact that she has been in the driver's seat with him for the last 3.5 years. And as they do that and they anchor her against him, she comparatively looks better.
Mm-hmm. There's a Trump ad that's out, or someone affiliated with, Team Trump, and it shows Kamala Harris talking about the price of groceries today, and then you splice that to her saying, Bidenomics is working. We're proud of Bidenomics. So again, it's the contrast, but when it's yourself, that's especially powerful. We can go back to what we heard from the vice president when she was in Michigan. Like we said, we saw her in Pennsylvania, but the delivery of her speech is what's standing out to some folks. We'll play it for you, and then we'll get your reaction. Here's that.
Everywhere I go, I tell people, look, you may not be a union member. You better thank a union member for the 5-day work week. You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time. Everywhere I go, I tell people, you may not be a union member, but you better thank unions for that 5-day work week. Paid family leave. Thank unions for your vacation time.
Maybe it was just later in the day, and so she'd lost some steam. But Tudor, do you hear a difference?
Of course. And I mean, obviously, we saw the same thing with Hillary Clinton. It doesn't prove to be a working strategy for Democrats to do this. I think it's somewhat embarrassing, but also the American people are not looking for her to try to pretend to be like them. We want to know who she is. We're looking to find out who Kamala Harris is. And when she's one person in Pennsylvania and a different person in Michigan, it makes it really hard to figure out exactly who she would be in the White House.